This is Get Real Estate, where you can live in your house and it's like a savings account that builds up over time. So it's an exciting investment. And we're talking with lender James McKibben. And this is my token gal with no labels, Darla. Thank you for joining us, Darla. Yeah. And so we're going to be talking about real estate with James McKibben today. Thank you for joining us, James.
Hey, thanks for having me. I mean, I love talking about business and real estate. So anytime I get invited, I am here. I'm excited and ready to be a part of the show. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So I was really compelled by your strategies for buyers where they could live in a multi unit property and then also get the rents, and that would help their ability to qualify for a loan. Can you
Yeah, correct. I mean, we've seen
explain
some
that?
changes with guidelines, right? I mean,
Exactly.
I've seen actual buyers use this strategy, and I'll kind of jump into it where they buy a 4 unit, they put down either 3.5 or 5%. And I'll kind of pause there. So on an FHA loan, you can do as little as 3.5% down. The one tricky part about an FHA loan is that the 3 units that they don't live in, assuming it's a 4 unit, have to be what's called self-sufficient, meaning that they have to cover the entire payment. Um, May came out with a 5% down up to 4 units. And I have a client, to your point, which I love the question, by the way, where they bought a 4 unit a few years ago. They lived in 1 unit for about a year. They bought another 4 unit. Now they're looking to buy another 4 units. So they'll potentially have 12 units with 5% down on each strategy, buying owner occupied. If you think about that, isn't that always kind of the dream for someone to own multi-unit properties? If 1 unit's vacant, you don't really feel the pain of having a vacancy. And there's so many different ways to slice this per se. And if you look at the 4 unit max or even 3 unit max in a lot of our counties, whether it's LA or San Francisco, anywhere in Northern California, it's a really big number for how big of a loan you can do. Because there's two different tiers. You have the standard conforming, which is 806, which is 806 500. However, balance tier for a 1 unit at the highest point is 1,209,750. But if you do a 4 unit, you can borrow up to roughly 2 million or higher with 5% down. So it's actually a product. And I think it's great that we're talking about it. More people should take advantage of it.
Mm. And let's talk about the other kinds, because it's not just FHA. I have some clients that are pre-approved for not just an FHA, like other kinds of loans. Let's talk about those for a second.
Yeah, I mean, we can do everything on 4 units. I mean, up to 4 units is considered residential. A lot of lenders have come out, almost like a hybrid commercial loan where they'll go up to like 8 units or 10 units, and they say 10 units or over is a true commercial deal. But up to 4 units, if we focus on that type of setting, I mean, we can do everything from bank statement loans to all non-Q. We can do profit and loss loans. We can do asset-based loans. So I mean, you're exactly right. We can do any type of occupancy. So someone can live in 1 unit or they can just buy it as a rental. But I think the biggest clients is the cash flow, looking at almost like a cap rate, rate of return on those. And I think any client really has to analyze the formula within each property, whether it's a single family or a multi-unit. But again, I think the allure is of a 4 unit is that you to rent, which is always pretty appealing, for the buyer, right?
Right. So let's switch our focus to the strategy for sellers, where you had kind of a unique thing for a bridge loan that was of the time, because a lot of people are feeling like, oh my gosh, golden handcuffs, I can't afford to sell.
Yeah. I mean, bridge loans have become really popular. I mean, I guess starting out, kind of through COVID 2021, where you really couldn't buy contingent. I had one deal where there was 75 offers on the property. And that was kind of extreme. I mean, you saw a lot of 10, 15, 20 loans in the South Bay or a hot area of San Francisco. So a bridge loan basically allows you to buy a home where you're not contingent, but you don't have to sell your current property. So what you do is you take the equity out of your current home and you over. We have 3 or 4 lenders that we really use for these. And when a client wants to buy a property and there's 3 or 4 other offers and they want it, they want to get it. They don't want to lose it because even though inventory has been going up, they only see one home they love every quarter, every 3, 4, 5 months, so they don't want to lose it. Maybe it's because they want to be in that school district. It has the cool layout for them from a family perspective. So what we generally do is we look at their current home out of, and we give them a loan up to a certain loan to value, say 70% loan to value. Meaning we'll give them a loan of 70% of the appraised value. We pay off their existing first trustees. We go in first lien position or senior. And then we do a concurrent loan with the cash out from the bridge loan on the new home that they want to buy. What the beauty of a bridge loan is that we're omitting or excluding the payment on their vacating property. So it allows them to qualify for a lot more ease because they're only qualifying on the isolated new payment that they're buying. And a lot of times we use different analytics of the average person keeps a bridge loan for like 2 to 4 months because a lot of times they want to sell their home and sell it in time. So there's a strategy behind it that we show kind of different data points of, okay, a bridge loan costs $30,000 or whatever the number is. However, for the data, for $50,000 more, if you don't fire sale it, you take the correct time frame and sell it once you've already bought, you're out of your property. So we give a lot of education on, what we've seen work and, the data that we have at hand. Really a pretty dynamic product. And once we do one for, a realtor and they're involved in that transaction and they know it was the difference, a lot of times they become a raving fan of that product because, the transaction for their client wouldn't have happened otherwise. So It's a great way to buy without being contingent. Buy before you sell.
Right. And it might also work for 1031 exchange?
It could work, yeah, for 1031 to defer capital gain. If it's rental to rental, it could, we can get into even like the, what's called the reverse 1031, where somebody can buy a property before they sell. So that takes a little bit more of a unique lender, but we can do those as well. Yeah, you could definitely find a way to attach them to a 1031 or a reverse 1031 in those situations. So it's a great, and we have them not just for full doc clients, but for bank statement clients and all those kind of outside the box self-employed borrowers. We even right now have a product that we're using a lot of. It's a buy first, sell later. So it's not a bridge loan per se, the payment on their current property. That's usually kind of the rub, is that it's hard to qualify for both mortgages without any rental income offset on their departing home. So the buy now, sell later is when someone has their own down. They only qualify for the new homes. We exclude, maybe they have $1.5 million loan with a $10,000 payment on their current home. We exclude it. We count it at 0 against their qualifying ratios. So there's some new products that are kind of evolving.
Yeah, that's really tricky.
And if anyone has questions on those, I'd love to answer them.
Sure. Well, that is really cool. And I'm so grateful that we had time to chat. So tell us how people can find you and, kind of, yeah. And you have a podcast as well. And how can people find it?
Yeah, I love mortgages. Fun fact about me, I love the business. I always say I'm working even when I'm not working. If I'm at home, I'm usually like reading a book, watching a real estate show. I guess that's kind of good and bad because it means I don't do much else, but I just really enjoy it. I love learning.
Well, and you're really changing people's lives and you're helping people in such a profound way.
Thank you. Yeah,
that's what I love about it.
Responses.
That's why I love real estate.
Yeah, me too. I always say that I get to work with a doctor, a PE teacher, a landscape tech, all in the same hour. It's so great to be able to help everyone that comes from different walks of life. I do deals I've done $9 million loans and I've done $30,000 loans. And we want to treat everyone the same and provide the best service, the best experience. It's easy to find me. And I'm really famous for the 3-minute response. So I get back to people really fast, 7 days a week. I always put myself in the position of how do I want to be responded to if I say, hey, I need, a haircut, and I reach out to someone and they get back to me 3 days later. It's hard for me to operate that way. So I've really kind of, designed my business based on being quick. And real estate and home loans, as you guys know, you have a window to operate. If it's a hot property, it's a Sunday night.
Totally.
If,
You have
I
to
just
get
have to
that
be on it.
offer in through
Yes,
now.
yeah, you can't pause. You have to strike while iron's hot. So my cell phone number, it's open. I mean, please contact me. We actually have, I actually have 3,300 loan programs right now. So if we have some amazing no down payment, first time home buyer, just I could go on and on. But my cell phone number, area code 949-02-6620. My email is just my first name
Say
dot
that one
last
more
name.
time. Cut out briefly.
Yeah, so my cell phone number is always on. I'm really fast on text or a call is great. My cell phone number 949-302-6620. My email is just my first name dot last name. So james.mckibben@movement.com. So very simple, james.mckibben@movement.com. And then my Instagram doesn't get any harder. It's very simple. It's just my name, James McKibben. So we've really grown where we do a podcast, we do education. I mean, we spend about 2 Sundays a month. I love it. It's one of my favorite, days of the month. We come in with I have a videographer and a marketing director, and we really enjoy getting in the office and sharing our story. And so please reach out. There's no bad questions. I hear it all the time when someone calls me to get pre-approved. We go through that exercise and they say, I wish I would have done this 5 years ago. I didn't know it was only going to take 20, 30 minutes, So
Right.
you're a couple of years out. There's never a bad time to have that first call with a lender like myself. And I'm just really grateful to be here with you, Monica, and to be a part of the show today.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on Get Real Estate.